Hello and thank you for watching another one of my flip through videos. Today I have the Walking Dead coloring book. This is the official coloring book. So you may see other Walking Dead coloring books out there, but if they do not have branding by Image on the side, then they are not officially licensed merchandise. So keep that in mind. This is one of my favorite coloring books because I am a giant Walking Dead fan. That's my favorite TV show. That's my favorite comic series. I own all the comic books. So this is just kind of a piece of memorabilia for me. I don't plan on coloring in it, but some of you might like to color in it. So I'm going to show you this book, and I'm going to warn you before I flip through this book is not for everyone. It does have gore in it. It's not a cutesy Halloween book. It's not a cutesy horror book. It is The Walking Dead. There are zombies, there is blood, there is guts. It is, of course, in a cartoonized style, so it's not realistic, but it's not cutesy either, so it's not going to be for everyone. Here's the first page. And the art is by Charlie Adler, because he is who illustrates for the comics. So we open up to a scene here. That's Lori, and that's Shane, and that's Rick. Here's another picture of Rick with his hand. Here is some zombies. There are a couple of these wallpapery type images in here, but I think only 4, if I remember correctly. Here is Michonne facing a horde of zombies. Then a lot of these do have Adler's signature on the side and the year they were drawn in, so this was 2006. Here's some zombies eating somebody. This is a zombie's mouth. We got some more zombies eating somebody. I think that it would make an okay coloring book if you actually wanted to color in it. I mean, there is a lot of heavy black because that's how comic books are traditionally shaded. The Walking Dead is in black and white to begin with, so they use black a lot to emphasize shading. But I think there's still bits that you could color. So this is Carol in the comic books, and here she is getting bit by a zombie. The comic books are pretty different from the TV show. AMC took a lot of liberties. This is the governor in the comics. This is once again the governor. That's Michonne and the governor. And see, this picture, there's not like a lot you could color there, whereas this picture here, there is more you could color. So, I don't know. I keep it just for a piece of memorabilia, like I said. That is Andrea up here in the corner. I can't remember who this is, but that's Lori there. And this is the governor's army down here. Here's some more zombies. This would be a good one to color too. Here's Michonne sticking her sword through a zombie. Again, here's another like wallpaper image. This is just an image that Charlie Adler likes to draw. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be himself. It's not Robert Kirkman, because Robert Kirkman doesn't look like that. Robert Kirkman's the writer, by the way, for The Walking Dead. So I think this might be a self-portrait of Charlie Adler. We see it in here a couple of times. It's no one from the comics. So this is Abraham and Eugene and Rosita. This would be a good one to color too. It doesn't have too much black on it. So here's everybody. Let's see. That's Dale. That's Maggie. That's Glenn. That's Rosita. That's Abraham, Eugene, Michonne, Andrea, Rick, Carl, Sophia, and Dale has 2 young boys with him that I cannot remember the names of. Here's Rick shooting at some zombies. Here's Michonne walking up on some zombies, and see, this isn't really, there's not a lot you could really color here. I guess you could color Michonne and really make her stand out against all the black, but I don't know. Here are some people that met their end. This is Abraham and Rosita getting attacked by a zombie jumping out of the trees. Like I said, this book's definitely not for everyone. The images in it are definitely more adult. That's Michonne's sword and Rick's axe here. This is Dale, and that's Father Gabriel and Rick and Andrea. A lot of these images, like this here with Dale by the fire, is a scene from the comics in itself, but they've put some more scenes from the comics here in the background. You know, that's not there. Dale is speaking in the actual comic page that this is from. There are a couple of pictures that go like this. This is Heath right here in Abraham. This would be on the way to Alexandria. Some more zombies. That's Glenn and that's Heath over a big horde of zombies. This one again got a lot of black. I guess you could color Glenn and Heath to stand out. This is Michonne. And I see Sophia. I don't remember who that is. I don't think it's Rick. Looking outside at some zombies. Here's another one of those wallpaper type images. Here's Abraham. These are some other background characters that are workers at Alexandria that do construction work. Again, here's that picture. I think it's a self-portrait. Here's a bunch of zombies, and that's Michonne down here in the cloak. And that's Rick right there with Carl. Here is one of the most infamous scenes from early on in the comics with Carl. I wish they would have kept, I mean, I know that they didn't put the speech bubbles in here for people to color, but I kind of wish they would, because the speech bubble here just says Dad in big letters, because this is, okay, spoilers for the Walking Dead TV show. If you're not caught up to where the TV show is now, I'm about to spoil some things. This is when they are walking through Alexandria with all the zombie guts on them because it's been overrun. And people are shooting at the zombies and someone accidentally shoots Carl and it hits his eye and he loses his eye. You'll remember that because afterwards, there's this pretty iconic scene which shows everyone in Alexandria taking turns fighting off the big horde of zombies. And so there's Rick and Michonne and Father Gabriel. There's Abraham and Rosita. There's Rick again. There's Father Gabriel again and Michonne. And they all take turns fighting zombies, and they're like in a big circle. There's Eugene. So you'll probably remember that scene because you definitely remember this scene after it. It was a pretty big moment for the TV show. And then here is the aftermath with all the zombies laying around them. It was a good scene on the TV show and a good scene in the comics. A good surprise, like a big shock moment. Here is Michonne knelt at a cross. This is such a good picture too, but again, not a lot to color on this one. But it is a very nice picture. And that's Charlie Adler's signature there. There's Andrea, and there's Michonne fighting some zombies. Again, here's the picture. I think it's supposed to be Charlie Adler as he like slowly becomes a zombie. Here's another one. That is Jesus in the comics and in the TV show. You remember him because he does like kung fu. And then here we go, the infamous Negan scene. If you're caught up, you definitely know who Negan is. There's Michonne and Rick and Maggie and Heath. You definitely remember the eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Here's another one that goes this way. There's Michonne and Rick and Andrea, and I'm not sure who that is there in the background. I think it might just be one of the residents of Alexandria that they were trying to protect. Sometimes we don't get the names of everyone in the comics. There's little Carl and Michonne fighting off zombies together. And there's Negan, of course. We had to have a picture of him in here. Again, there's not a lot you could do with this. I mean, I think it would be cool if you colored all the swatches red and then just left it as it is, you know, just the red, black, and white. Here's another cool one, I think. That's Rick, Michonne, and Jesus with all the hands reaching out to them. Here's another wallpaper type image with the survivors versus the saviors. So Rick's team, group, whatever you want to call them, we call them survivors. And the saviors are Negan's group of people. They do have these little logos. These don't appear in the comics or anything. This is just something that was drawn for this. They're like their little unofficial logos. And then we've got this page here with all the zombies approaching the sanctuary where Negan lives. And that's it. I think this is a really great book if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, the TV show and the comics both, because this has a lot of iconic moments from both the comics and the show. However, if you're not a fan of The Walking Dead, then it's probably not your thing, because it is a little bit grotesque and a little gross and a little bit adult for sure. But if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, I would definitely check this book out. I wish they would release a second official coloring book, because this only goes up to the second compendium, I think. Yeah, the second compendium, or a little past issue 100 of the comics, and there's 192 issues, so we could definitely redo this with some really cool scenes of, like, Alpha and Beta, which if you're caught up with the TV show, you know who they are. Princess would be a good character to bring in to draw color, because she's so bright and colorful. So I think they should do a second one. If you're watching this Image Comics, please make a second coloring book. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this flip through.